Buying a processor for a gaming rig isn't as hard as it used to be. When it comes to time to building a gaming PC, it's essential to pick the best CPU for the job. Your CPU affects everything from gaming performance to OS and application performance. It also dictates your platform and motherboard options. When you're shopping for a CPU, you need to balance performance and features within your budget. So if you're looking for one, then we can help you with some of the best in the business. Check out the description below for more information and the latest pricing. Only cooperative with Intel's 300 series chipset-based motherboards, the Pentium G5400 3.7 GHz dual-core LGA 1151 processor of Intel has a base clock speed of 3.7 GHz and comes with characteristics such as AES-NI encryption and Intel VT-D virtualization technology for directed I/O. Additionally, this processor highlights 2 cores with 4 threads in an LGA 1151 socket, has 4 MB of cache memory, and 16 PCIe lanes. Having 2 cores enables the processor to run various programs concurrently without slowing down the system, while the 4 threads allow a primary ordered sequence of instructions to be passed within or processed by a single CPU core. This processor also supports dual-channel DDR4-2400 RAM and uses the 8th generation Coffee Lake-S technology. Graphically, the Pentium G5400 uses the combined Intel UHD Graphics 610 chipset, which has a dominant frequency of 1050 MHz. This processor is not unlocked and does not emphasize an overclock speed. The AMD Ryzen 9 3900X 3.8 GHz 12-core AM4 processor is a compelling 12-core processor with 24 threads, created for socket AM4 motherboards. Created with Zen 2 architecture, the 3rd generation 7nm Ryzen processor offers improved performance related to its predecessor. It has a base clock speed of 3.8 GHz and it can reach a max boost clock speed of 4.6 GHz. Furthermore, it highlights 64 MB of L3 cache, 24 PCIe Gen 4 lanes, and support for dual-channel 3200 MHz DDR4 RAM. Users should pair it with an AMD X500 series motherboard to completely take benefits of PCIe 4.0. This processor has a 105W TDP and incorporates a Wraith Prism cooler with RGB LED lighting. It monitors energy consumption and temperature. When the processor knows it's operating cool and quiet, it can raise clock rates in precise 25 MHz steps for any application without pausing work. The Core i5-9600K 3.7 GHz 6-core LGA 1151 processor of Intel is created for creating gaming and productivity. It has a base clock speed of 3.7 GHz and comes with highlights such as Intel Optane memory support, AES-NI encryption, Intel TXT, Intel vPro technology, Intel device protection with bootguard, and Intel VT-D virtualization technology for directed I/O. With Intel Turbo Boost Max 3.0 technology, the supreme turbo frequency this processor can achieve is 4.6 GHz. Furthermore, this processor features 6 cores with 6 threads in an LGA 1151 socket, has 9 MB of cache memory, and 24 PCIe lanes. Having 6 cores enables the processor to run multiple programs concurrently without slowing down the system, while the 6 threads allow a basic ordered series of instructions to be passed through or processed by a single CPU core. This processor also carries dual-channel DDR4-2666 RAM and utilizes 9th generation technology. The Core i9-9900K 3.6 GHz 8-core LGA 1151 processor of Intel is intended for gaming, creating, and productivity. It has a base clock rate of 3.6 GHz and comes with peculiarities such as Intel Optane memory support, AES-NI encryption, Intel TXT, Intel device protection with bootguard, Intel vPro technology, Intel VT-D virtualization technology for directed I/O, and Intel hyperthreading technology for 16-way multitasking. With Intel Turbo Boost Max 3.0 technology, the highest turbo frequency this processor can produce is 5.0 GHz. Additionally, the processor stars 8 cores with 16 threads in an LGA1151 socket, has 16 MB of cache memory, and 24 PCIe lanes. Having 8 cores enables the processor to operate multiple programs concurrently without slowing down the system, while the 16 threads provide a basic ordered sequence of instructions to be passed within or processed by a single CPU core. This processor also carries dual-channel DDR4-2666 RAM and uses 9th generation technology. Graphically, the Core i9-9900K uses the combined Intel UHD Graphics 630 chipset, which has a powerful frequency of 1200 MHz. The AMD Ryzen 3 3200G 3.6 GHz quad-core AM4 processor is a quad-core processor with 4 strings, created for socket AM4 motherboards. The 3rd generation 12nm Ryzen G processor gives increased performance related to its predecessor, with this model having a base clock rate of 3.6 GHz and a max boost clock speed of 4.0 GHz. Moreover, it highlights 4 MB of L3 cache, support for dual-channel 2933 MHz DDR4 RAM, and combined Radeon Vega 8 graphics. This processor has a 65-watt TDP and involves a Wraith Stealth cooler. While it's unlocked and can be overclocked past its highest boost clock, users may need to consider using a more healthy cooling solution. AMD Ryzen processors control energy consumption and temperature. When the processor knows it's operating cool and quiet, it can raise clock speeds inaccurate 25 MHz steps for any apps without pausing work. It provides you with up to 4 custom user-defined profiles to save CPU, GPU, and DDR4 memory configurations. You can modify the number of active cores and memory timings, as well as optimizing general performance or fine-tuning for your preferred applications. The AMD Ryzen 7 3700X 3.6 GHz 8-core AM4 processor is a dominant 8-core processor with 16 threads created for socket AM4 motherboards. Created with Zen 2 architecture, the 3rd generation 7nm Ryzen processor offers enhanced performance related to its predecessor. It has a base clock speed of 3.6 GHz and it can reach a max boost clock rate of 4.4 GHz. Furthermore, it features 32 MB of L3 cache, 24 PCIe Gen 4 lanes, and support for dual-channel 3200 MHz DDR4 RAM. Users should pair it with an AMD X500 series motherboard to fully take the benefits of PCIe 4.0. This processor has a 65-watt TDP and incorporates a Wraith Prism cooler with RGB LED lighting. AMD Ryzen Master presents you with up to 4 custom user-defined profiles to save CPU, GPU, and DDR4 memory configurations. You can modify the number of active cores and memory timings, as well as optimize general performance or fine-tune for your favorite applications.
Thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, then hit the like button and subscribe to our channel if you loved it. Take a moment to hit the bell icon so you'll get notified of all our latest uploads.